I just wanted to go ahead and take this time to give you a really quick tutorial on how to get into Amplify and how to create a class, as well as what the student will see and what the student will have to do to access your class. Okay, so first, step one, the website that you can go to is my.amplify.com, and it'll take you here to this page. For me personally, I like to log in with Google, so I will save my information. When I press login with Google, it'll take me here, and I have already here saved my school access to Amplify. So I believe there is one per grade level. So I will use this as a teacher or plug it in and save it. And once you click on that, it will take you to where you were last. And this is where I was last, which is my account. And currently I have no classes. I have archived a bunch of other classes, but for now I just wanted to show you that I will be creating a class right now. So when you click add class, for example, I will just call this a demo class. And this is important that you pick what grade it is and that you add the class. Now here is where you will select the program. Why this is important is because this will provide your student with what they need to see. So only what they need to see. Whereas as a teacher, you have access to basically every grade level. So I'm going to click fourth and I'm going to assign the program. Once you have done that, your code will pop up here. So I'm going to copy this. Okay. And then that's it. I'm done. And here is your class that you can see. You don't have any students yet, but there's a class there. All right. So moving forward, I'm going to press launch programs. Right now, I'm currently logged in as a teacher, so I'll show you what that looks like from your end. Okay. So here you can see it's on first grade, but like I said previous, you have access to everything here. So only because I am more familiar with it, I will be using fourth grade as an example. As a teacher, you can see here are all the units. You can click on the unit that you will be using and it'll take you to the teacher dashboard. You have all of the lessons here, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4. Some of them have 5 or 6 chapters. And you can even see here, it tells you how many lessons are within each chapter. With regards to lesson plans, my favorite is just here, planning for the unit, especially because of the standards at a glance. So earlier this week or last week, I did mention that it's good practice to include some standard code into your lesson plan. For Amplify, we're using the NGSS science standards right here. You can open printable. You can open the printable one if you wanted to save it on your laptop, but you can also just copy from here. There's a whole bunch. The performance expectations, that's fine, but do keep in mind that this is for the entire unit because it is in regards to energy and electricity. Okay. When you select a unit, it'll take you to all the lessons. There's even a chapter overview here just to familiarize yourself. And then the lessons themselves. So when you open one lesson, for your lesson plan, it is completely fine to use these steps right here. So 1, you're doing writing. 2, it's a teacher-led discussion. 3, it's also a teacher-led discussion. A really good resource to use is your classroom slides, 1.1 PowerPoint, which is here. This is something that you can project to the class to show them what you guys are doing, as well as some documents that you guys can use. Note that it is pretty hefty. They give you a lot of materials to use. You also have a standards tab here, which will show you specifically the standard that is being used in this lesson. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, okay? There's just a whole bunch for the teacher to use with regard to lesson planning and for reference materials. Okay, so let me back out of here. Keep in mind that your students really won't need to access Amplify unless you have them in a simulator or you have them doing some kind of exercise, okay? So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna show you the student view. So I have this code copied and I'm going to go ahead and log out here. Now we are going to go over what it looks like from the student end. So that class code that I set up previous, we're going to go ahead and do the student sign up. And I'm going to plug in this class code right here and press continue. Now it's going to ask me to sign up all of these things to create a login. Now this is where it could get sticky because a lot of times when students do this, they create things that they don't remember later on and it's a bit of a pain in the butt. So we're just going to go ahead and sign up with Google. Be sure to have your students use their school provided email address. I believe the password for all of those is going to be iLearn 15. Whether the L is capitalized or not is something I need to specify later. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and use my personal account. So once you click on that, it should take you here. So before we get you set up to your account, confirm that this is a class you're trying to join. The class I'm trying to join is this one, Miss Dunn Demo. Or you can go ahead and enter the class code that you provided. There it is, join the class. Now, once your student joins in, this is so much easier than setting up their own thing. They are here as a student. They're in this class. It shows the teacher's name. It shows the class name. And from here, they are going to, this is basically what it looks like on the student's end. Why? Because there is no Amplify app. So when your students need to actually go into Amplify, they will have to go on through Safari and they will need to log in through Google using myamplify.com. This is if they need to access the Sims and the student app. So I'm going to show you how they do that now. When they press launch programs, they're going to select science. And you'll notice here that they only have access to what they have access to, which is fourth grade content. It looks a little bit different from ours because the teacher one has so much stuff. They also have these 3 bars here on the side, but they also have these units here, which is fine. So for example, let's say I want them to use a simulator. When they click, it takes them straight to the student's app page. There is nothing else in here. So the only reason they will need to come here is if you want them to use the simulator, which when they click, it'll open it up depending on the day that you need to use it. And it'll actually load in their browser for them to use. They just need to be patient as it's loading. And then you can go ahead and explain. Luckily for us in Amplify's teachers resources, they usually show little video clips of how to use the various sims, the tools. Some of them are just model making, which are all very essential skills and practices that students need for science thought. And they actually really, really enjoy using them as well. But for the most part, the only reason they'll need to log in is to access these tools. Just taking some time. There's a lot of moving components for these tools as well. Okay, so the sorting tools here, so they'll be able to use their fingers to drag and drop, to mess around with these things. You can have discussions. You can actually show this to them yourself, and I'll show you how you can access that. So this is the students page. When they click here, there's nothing because they are already in the students' apps. This is actually their main dashboard, so they will be able to mess around with the other apps here. Now in their main dashboard, they also have this, which is a quick go-to for certain sims. You can see they only have the fourth grade tools. They also can click this and it'll take them to their students app page, which is per unit for them to use. Either way, for them, it's pretty streamlined. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one more thing that I forgot. I'm going to log back in as a teacher to show you the books, which I think is amazing because I think this feature is new and they did not have this for us last year. So like I said previously, the reason why it's important to pick up the kits is to also take a look at the book resources. And from there, you guys will be able to create the PDF files of your books. However, if you can utilize these, it would be even better and it would just save a little bit of that extra stress for you guys. So again, this is the teacher dashboard. So if I am going to fourth grade, right, and I click on elementary student apps, I'm going to scroll down to my fourth grade lessons. So you can see you have kinder all the way to fifth. And when I click Vision and Light, I have this student books. Now, why they don't have this on their version, I am not certain. But what is really amazing is that we have it on ours. These can be screen shared during your Zoom meetings and discussed as a class for student reading. So you can see here, the book is here. You can flip through the book. You can discuss with your students. I know that sometimes they discuss what a table of contents is, but you have here on your teacher access all of the books that you also have in your bin for you to use for your students, which is absolutely amazing. So every handbook that is needed for this lesson is here for you to use per lesson, just as another great resource. I hope this helped you out. I know it's a little bit tricky getting them to log in, but they really do need access to their simulators and their modeling tools. Hope this was helpful. Thank you guys.